It's a nice cool morning out here at Hoss HQ, and I've been busy in the greenhouse the last week or so, and I want to show you guys kind of what we got going on, what we got growing in here, and talk a little bit about seed starting and germination and what might give you really good germination and maybe some reasons why you don't get really good germination. So let's go in the greenhouse. It's full. Let's see what all we got going on. This is one of my favorite times of the year to be gardening. I love starting seeds. I don't know what it is about it, just love growing transplants. So let's see what we got here. So this little 16-foot greenhouse here is absolutely stocked full of seed trays and seedlings that we're growing transplants for fall. Now most people would say, wow, that is way too many seed trays, way too many seeds, way too many plants. What are you going to do with all those? Well, we're not going to sell them, we're going to use them all, and we don't really let any go to waste. If you think about how many gardens we've got to fill with these things, there's quite a few. We've got my personal garden, we've got Dad's personal garden, Miss Hoss has got her own little raised bed garden, and then I've got a consulting farm that I'm growing some plants for. We're going to plant there. Their greenhouse is a little hotter this time of year, so it's harder to grow stuff in there. So early in the fall, I'm growing a lot of plants for them as well. So everything here will get used, nothing will go to waste. Now let's take a look at the varieties we've got going on here and see what kind of germination we're getting. All right, so right here we've got a Savannah sweet onion, and if we could look down here, we've got some of these little guys coming up already. They're not all emerged from the soil, but they're starting to come up. So we're going to grow our own onion plants this year. We're also going to get some from Dixondale, but we're going to grow our own onion plants and see how those turn out. Over here, looks like Dad has snuck in here and tried to jump the gun on me and planted some lettuce. He's got some Cherokee, some Butter Crunch, some Skyphos, and Cowshot, all pelleted lettuce varieties there. And I think it may be a little too early for lettuce, but we'll see. We'll see how he does with it. I'm going to wait a few more weeks before I start my lettuce. And then we've got here, we've got some calendula, which is a cool flower. And these take a little longer to get up, but they're starting to emerge there. So we'll be planting those in the garden to help get some beneficial insects in there for the fall. We've got some kestrel beet here. We've got some early wonder beet here. Let's see what we got here. Some Laurentian rutabaga. Really good germination on those. Over here we got two flats of these Mateco leeks. This is a hybrid variety of leek. And as you can see there, we're getting some good germination on those guys. Excited about planting some leeks in the fall. We grew leeks in January last year and did really good, but I'm going to grow them all throughout the winter this year. And then the last few flats over here, we've got some cabbage, we've got some Cheers cabbage, some Charleston Wakefield, and some Rio Grande cabbage on the end. If we go over here to the other side of the greenhouse, we've got some of the Southern Giant Curled Mustard, which you can direct seed that, but I thought I'd try some in seed trays, just see how it worked if I grew out some nice transplants and spaced it out further. And then we've got some scarlet kale, and right here we've got some nice touchstone gold beets. Now beets are traditionally multi-germ, so each seed's going to give you 2 or 3 little sprouts there, and I need to come in there and thin those out, but those are going to be some nice beet transplants for early fall. And if we scoot on over here, one of my favorites for fall is this green magic broccoli, and I've got 2 flats of that planted. Everybody loves fresh broccoli. And we got some cauliflower here, some snowball, and some purple cauliflower. And then over here we've got some Brussels sprouts. We got a flat of the green Jade Cross ones, a flat of the Red Bull, and then on the end here, some of our famous tiger collards, one of the most productive crops you can grow in the garden. Now, like I said earlier, this greenhouse is only 16 foot, and we've got a shelf on each side. So we are a little bit limited in space this time of year when we're trying to get everything going. We do fill it up pretty quick. But since it's warm outside, mornings been getting a little cooler. What we'll do is once this stuff actually germinates, once it sprouts inside the greenhouse here, we'll move it outside and put it on a pallet. Just let it get sun out there. This works really well if you're around your greenhouse or your trays all day and can keep them watered. They really need watered 3 or 4 times a day, it seems like. If you're working all day, this might not be the best strategy, but it works for us because we're here by the shop all during the day. So once they're germinated, we put them outside. Let me show you what that looks like. So once a tray gets completely germed out, we get everything coming up nicely in the tray, we'll move it outside and we'll just put them on a pallet like this right here. And the pallet is going to help them drain. You don't want to sit them just right on the grass or the dirt. They're not going to drain very well, and the plant roots are going to try to root down in the grass or dirt. So putting them on a pallet like this works really good. And you can see we got really good germination with all these guys. Let's see what we got here. We've got some blue night kale, which is a more kind of frilly kale. We've got one of our favorites there, the lacinato kale. We've got this all top turnip, which is a new variety we just started carrying. That doesn't make much of a root or no root at all turnip leaves, which is kind of what I like. And then we got some kohlrabi here, some purple Vienna kohlrabi. Nice germination on that. We got some white or green kohlrabi there on the end, and then here is our flame star cauliflower. Nice, good germination there. So we put them out here, and this will kind of help to harden them off and help to finish them off and give us a lot more room in our greenhouse. So now that I've shown you everything that we got growing in here, the main reason I got you here today is I want to tell you 3 reasons why your seeds may not be germinating. So these are 3 important factors that are going to give you really good germination. And if you do all 3 of these, you should be in good shape. If you're not doing one of these 3 and you're getting poor germination, this could very well be why. So the first one I want to talk about is moisture. Okay, so our seed starting mix, we use this Pro Mix right here. This stuff, when you get it, is pretty dadgum dry, especially if it sits out in the greenhouse like this. Now this is a really good commercial grade seed starting mix. We firmly believe in it. We've tested a lot of the others, and this one is the one we go to. But like I said, it's really dry. And so what happens sometimes, if we look at this seed tray right here, we can get that in focus, is that you'll fill this guy up with soil and people will water it, but they don't get the water all the way down here. They're just watering the first top half of this cell. It takes a lot of water to get this stuff wet initially. And what we see a lot of times is people think they're watering their whole tray, but they're really only watering the top half of it. So you need to soak this soil in really good before you start to plant here. So moisture is really important, having enough moisture, and also having trays like these that drain really well. In addition to soil moisture, the other big factor on getting seeds to germinate well is heat. Now, that's not near as big a player this time of year as it is in the spring. So this time of year, there's plenty of heat to go around. We're actually wanting it to cool off a little bit. So we don't have to use heat mats. But in the spring, we do have to use heat mats to get that soil to a certain optimal germination temperature. So if it's cool where you are, you certainly need to make sure that soil is warm enough so those seeds can germinate, usually at least around 75 degrees or so, if not warmer for some crops. So heat is really important. But this time of year, we don't have to manufacture that heat. The sun is giving us plenty inside this greenhouse here. And then the third, and probably the biggest reason I see people have trouble with getting their seeds to germinate or getting a good germination rate, is that they just bought sorry seeds. You know, a like a lot of things in life, you get what you pay for. And if you buy cheap, sorry seeds, you're gonna get sorry germination. That's just the way it is. There's a lot of seed companies out there that are too worried about putting non-GMO all over everything and all these other things, and they're not really concerned with their germination. And you can tell it when you buy those seeds and you plant a whole flat and you only get half of it come up, or it comes up really slow. We don't do that here. We believe in really good germination rates and sending out really high quality seed, and we stand behind that. And for that reason, that's why we always put the germination rate on every seed packet we send out. And you can see with these Jade Cross Brussels sprouts there, you're getting a 97% germination rate. Even tells you the date tested. That was tested in August of 2019, so not long ago at all. So we're testing our seeds every 6 to 9 months around here, so you're always getting fresh seeds. If we test a batch of seeds and the germination rate comes back low, we throw them away. We don't try to save them and sell them. We don't want any old bad germ seeds in our warehouse. We're going to send you only the best, what we're actually using to grow in our gardens as well. So I hope you enjoyed this little walk around the tiny greenhouse here, a little tour of what we got going on, what we got started, what we're growing. This is going to be a busy place the next few months. Just getting lettuce going in here, getting some more onions going, lots of stuff going on in this greenhouse. I mean, it's just really fun to be in here starting these seeds and watching them grow. It's just really enjoyable to do it. If you have a greenhouse, definitely use it. If you don't have a grow room or a greenhouse, I would highly consider building one or purchasing one. It's one of the most fun things you can do on the homestead, is starting seeds and getting excited for fall planting. I'll put some links below to our fall seeds so you can check those out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.